Padraig Harrington's win at last month's Portugal Masters was the perfect reminder that class is permanent. The Irishman's 31st career victory came 20 years on from his very first win at the 1996 Spanish Open. Anna sat down with the three-time major champion to discuss his new lease of life out on the golf course.
Padraig, another winning year for you. I know that was your main goal this year in 2016. How satisfying was that coming into the end of the season as well?
Winning is great. There's nothing quite feels like winning, and I think, when you look back at your career, it's how many times you've won, and did you win every year? You know, what years were good years, and 2016 will go down as a good year for me now because I have a win.
As a three-time major champion, how much does a win in Portugal mean?
You always need confidence. Every player needs that, and the wins I've had over the last number of years, I haven't got myself in contention anywhere near as often as I would have been early on in my career. But the wins I get, the times I get in contention now, I convert more of them. So it's a strange thing. My experience tells down the stretch. I read the situation very well. I fully understand what's going on, and I seem to get it right a lot now, whereas maybe in my early years, I didn't get it right. And so it really is experience. I had 32nd place, well, 29 at one stage. I now have 32nd places, and I'd love to say they're paying dividends now, which they kind of are, because when I get myself into position, I kind of know what's happening. I will say though, I don't get into position as much as I'd like to. That's kind of a little bit of confidence, and winning, I say, brings a bit of confidence. But I think ultimately put me in the heel of the hunt with 9 holes to go. I'm really loving it. I've got the adrenaline going, the focus is going. I really like that mix. I wish I had it more often, as I'm sure everybody does.
Do you think that winning instinct comes back in a final round like that? You've obviously won some of the biggest titles.
Absolutely. Every player who's maturing in their career will tell you that they lose a little bit of the buzz, a little bit of the excitement. But you don't when you're in contention. So it's all about trying to get yourself into that position on Sunday where there's a bit of pressure, a bit of nerves, because you still have it when it comes down to it. There's always a point in the final round where you could take it or not. I didn't know it was before I hit the bunker shot in 11, but holding the bunker shot, I pretty much knew that was my tournament from there on, that good things are happening for me. I put myself in a great place mentally that I believe good things were going to happen to me. I had a nasty 3.5 footer downhill on the 18th green to win, but I convinced myself that everybody who wins holds these putts, so I'm going to hold it.
And I imagine getting a win like that, it is relatively late on in the season, but it fuels you to go into next year teeing up every week thinking that you can win.
Look, I tee up every week anyway thinking I'm going to win. You got to create your own reality out here. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to. The next person doesn't have to believe it, but I've got to believe it. So I always think I'm going to win every week. And to be honest, I know if I get myself there, I can win. I know that. I really like what I see in my game. Very much have it under the most control I've probably had it in my whole career. I've started putting really well again. And when you get those things going, then you realise, okay, well, only the mental side is left. So you start maybe concentrating more on that, looking at your routines in more depth, and realising, a lot of your shots are coming from your routines or your mental side. It essentially allows you to focus on the nitty-gritty stuff that actually gets you across the line. So I'm in a good place that I know I need to tidy up my mental side. I know I need to tidy up my routines and things like that, but I'm focused on that. So a win sort of allows you that time to sit back and say, right, what's really making the difference?
Yeah. Well, one week that we didn't see you out on the course was the Ryder Cup. Your second vice-captaincy, different from last time, being on the losing side. What did you learn from this experience this year?
I think the vice-captains were more involved this time for sure. When we won in 2014, Paul certainly didn't need us as much. This one, we were definitely more involved. Darren had us more involved, so it hurt a lot more when we lost. It felt like a loss. I often said going into the Ryder Cup, vice captain is a great place. You've got the best seat in the house, inside the ropes, and no pressure. If you lose, the captain gets blamed. If you win, it's great, it's fun. But I felt it a bit here because I felt I was involved in the decision making. I felt it was very much part of the team. and what was going on, and it was disappointing to lose.
This time 3 months ago we had you down as a potential captain 2018, but we want to see you out there as a player. Is that the goal?
I love playing golf, and I've seen it took 3.5 years of Paul McGinley's life to be Ryder Cup captain. So far it's taken 2.5 years of Darren Clarke's life. Who knows before he settles down afterwards. Selfishly, I love playing golf. I don't want to give that up at this moment. I'd love to be a Ryder Cup captain. I understand it's not a given by any means. It's the longer I push it out, the more risk that there's younger players coming in, and there'll be a lot of competition for the Ryder Cup captaincy down the road. But I want to play. I want to play in the Ryder Cup. I want to play golf. I want to compete. I still feel like I'm competitive, as I showed in Portugal. It was the lowest score I ever shot in my career. Yeah. Lowest total of the year, so that's not a bad thing.
That's a good feeling.
It's nice to shoot low numbers, because most of my wins have been coming on tough golf courses. That was obviously an easy golf course that week, so it was nice to do it in that format as well.
You still got it, Padraig. Well, for the rest of the year, final question. You're obviously balancing the PGA with the European Tour, and your main focus is getting back into the Masters lineup. What's your plan?
I need to get in the top 50 of the world. I need to get back in those world events and the majors. I've played 2 majors this year, and I finished 30th and 13th, and had a pretty decent run. Certainly in the PGA, I had a pretty decent run. I need to be playing 4 majors a year. It's hard to win one when you're only playing 2. It's a numbers game. Don't have enough numbers. I need to play more majors and get myself in there.
It's great to see you have a win this year, Padraig. Thanks for your time, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.